Welcome to the City of Caldwell podcast. Today we have Denae Warren from Destination Caldwell. Hello, Denae.
Hey, hi Brian. Thanks for inviting me.
The great thing about you is we're both kind of new. We started around relatively the same time. We're both newish to our position. We're kind of sophomores now, I feel like. We're getting there. But Denae, tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you got to where you are right now.
Sure. So I am a Treasure Valley resident over 20 years, and I used to just be a fan and a guest of Destination Caldwell and Indian Creek Plaza. So I would come here with my family and just enjoyed the events, the splash pads, grabbed ice cream, and just thought this was an incredible kind of Cinderella story. And so I went to NNU, local college here, graduated from there and married my husband. And we've been married for about 17 years. And so kind of a cool part of my Caldwell story is my husband's name is TJ. His great grandpa owned Warren Shoe Store. He used to be a downtown merchant here over off Lane and Kimball. Well, that shoe store started to slide into the creek, and then they had to close up the shoe store and the car wash, and there were some other buildings that were going. And so we had seen kind of this cool transformation of Caldwell for a long time. And my kids go to school about 5 minutes away from here. I worked at a different nonprofit. It was a therapeutic riding facility also in Caldwell. And I was scrolling through Facebook one day and just happened to see they were hiring for an executive director over here at Destination Caldwell. And I thought, I spend a lot of time there, and I really like the type of events that take place and that they're in charge of. I wonder if I could do that job. And so I applied, and it was about a month-long process and a lot of panel interviews. And then I was hired in mid-December. And so that's kind of where I've come from, worked in lots of different nonprofits in the Treasure Valley over 20 years since I graduated from college.
Sweet. So tell us about your husband, your kids.
Yeah. Sure. My husband has worked for Winco. He's in procurement, and he's also a part-time bivocational pastor at a local church in Star. And so he's a native Tater Stater, born and raised in Greenleaf, Idaho, which is where our kids go to a school, and so very plugged in and integrated into the culture, and grew up farming, moving pipe, irrigation, picking plums and pluots off trees out here. So just long-term resident of Idaho, and we just love raising our kids here and being a part of the community.
Sweet. Now, part of the reason why we're here is I feel like a lot of people don't know about Destination Caldwell, or maybe they do know about it as far as hearing it, but don't know what Destination Caldwell actually does. So can you just tell us kind of the background behind DC?
Yeah, so basically, if you were to come to Caldwell 10 years ago, most of the storefronts down here were vacant, needed revitalization. There was a lot of blight around downtown, and it didn't have a very good reputation. And so basically, city planners, long-term business owners down here, folks who were volunteers and just had an interest in revitalizing downtown Caldwell got together and started planning, and they brought in economic development expert Roger Brooks in about 2013, or about that time, and then he created a plan called the Downtown Action Plan. You can still see it on our website at destinationcaldwell.com, and it's about a 62-point checklist to say, here's how you revitalize downtown. And one of the centerpieces of that is the Indian Creek Plaza. We have splash pads. We operate a skate rink seasonally, November through February, and that will draw people into the community. That will draw downtown merchants into some of these historic buildings that were vacant. And so the city of Caldwell, in partnership with many people, implemented that plan, and they built the Indian Creek Plaza. The skate rink was open in 2018. Fast forward 5 years, it's just become transformative down here. Just an incredible evolution, a little bit of a Cinderella story. And that's kind of the history of Destination Caldwell. We're the management partner for the city of Caldwell. We manage their property, which is the Indian Creek Plaza.
And tell us what your relationship is with the businesses down here.
Sure. Yeah, we have a great economic development team, Steve Jenkins and Ophelia Morales. They attract merchants and kind of getting a good vendor mix. They try to attract folks who are kind of artisan, boutique, small business type, so that we've got just a variety of retail businesses down here and some farm to fork restaurants, lots of variety. There's something for everyone in downtown Caldwell. And so once they are in our area, it's called the Business Improvement District. It's about a 10-block radius. Then we serve as a marketing agency for them. Essentially, we do large-scale events to draw the community in, and then hopefully those folks will go out and shop in those downtown areas. Destination Caldwell will create reels for them. If they tag us on Facebook, we'll get their information out to 6,000 to 10,000 followers who follow us on Facebook and Instagram and some of the other socials, TikTok, and that's kind of how we integrate with downtown businesses. We just had a business advisory committee meeting. We have a business improvement district board even that meets along with our board of directors for Destination Caldwell, so we're very integrated with local businesses.
Cool. Tell us about the Ag Venture, because that's something that you guys have brewing right now, and tell us more about how that came to be, what it is, and who it's for.
Sure. Yeah, so Destination Caldwell, we have 3 pillars. We have 4, I kind of combined ones. There's an economic development pillar and downtown business support. And then our second pillar is community. So we do lots of high impact events, about 14 signature events each year, which draw thousands of people into the downtown corridor. And then our third pillar is agritourism, an agricultural initiative. And we're trying to create ties into the Sunny Slope region. And so Caldwell has this gem called Sunny Slope, and we've got about 25 wineries that are out there. We learned, actually Brian and I went on one of the Ag Venture tours together, that about 90% of the grapes that are in wine that you drink in Idaho are actually grown in the Sunny Slope region. I think they just changed the name to the Snake River AVA. There's all sorts of interesting things that you have to achieve to become an AVA. And so we feel like, hey, let's be a trailhead here in downtown Caldwell for agritourism. And so we started doing these paid tours, and we bring in a shuttle that sits about 14 guests. And this is a paid guided tour. That shuttle is behind the Indian Creek Plaza stage in the loading zone there, and it's every first Friday. Tours are $110, and we take you to 4 or 5 stops on the Adventure Trail tour. And those are producers, growers, farmers, ranchers. You'll get to meet them. They talk about their products. You'll get gifts along with each of those stops. We'll feed you a farm to fork lunch and just make an afternoon of it. And you just hear there, lots of families out here have been in farming for multiple generations. Chances are you'll shake hand with the actual farmer who's doing the work, growing, producing. Maybe they're creating artisan woodwork, as Brian and I got to see on our tour. And so it's just really a great connection to downtown, but also the Sunny Slope region. And we've got both in Caldwell. There's a little bit of everything here.
Right. Tell us a little bit about Winter Wonderland, because
Yes.
that's kind of the gem of the area, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. And so the city of Caldwell started off, and so Destination Caldwell bought them lunch after the season, just to be like, tell us about the history of this, because the street department from the city of Caldwell actually puts up 1 million lights per year, as we learned, and you were at that lunch too. And they started off small, so they do a couple light installations or lit up a couple places along the creek, and over the span of years that they've done it, they keep adding more lights and more installations. And so that really was a catalyst to even revitalize downtown, because they were doing that really before Destination Caldwell was in existence. And so we thought the ice skating rink would be a good, pairing for that. We've already got this awesome over 1 million lights along Indian Creek, and it's about 1 mile long that you can walk. And then you can come ice skate with your family down here, and it really is like a Hallmark movie. It's something that's very unique to Caldwell. Not a lot of cities do this, and there's nothing that I can think of even in the area that's close. And so Winter Wonderland it's a season. We do actually have like a date that we hold, like a weekend Winter Wonderland, and that's November 17th and 18th from 6 to 9 p.m. We have a ton of vendors down here that sell artisan goods and things that you could buy your family and friends for Christmas. But really it lasts for about 3 months that you can come ice skate here, and the lights will stay up and during that season as well. And it's just kind of a charming small town. We've got the stage. Some people even rent the stage out for Christmas parties, and the plaza is available to rent for private parties. A lot of people, like West Valley has like a Christmas party here every year, and so we'll do big
Nice.
corporate events as well. Yeah, so that draws about 190,000 visitors into the downtown Caldwell corridor. Last year we had 62,000 skaters. So if you can imagine like the economic impact of an event like this for a town of about, it's Caldwell about 60,000 now?
70 now. Yeah.
70,000 people, yeah. So essentially we're 62,000 guests in, which is close to the population of Caldwell.
Right.
And we can track that. Like, we do have people from Caldwell who obviously take advantage of it, but it's drawing people from Boise and Meridian and all over the Treasure Valley and even farther beyond that to experience what we have to offer here.
Great. Are there any highlight, businesses that you would like to highlight at all that you feel like people need to know about?
Absolutely. We have so many cool businesses down here. Mono is one that I love to talk about. And they've got their own Cinderella story. We actually had Sal talk at Prime on the Plaza, one of the fundraisers that we do. And so Sal started out, let's tell a little bit of his story. Him and his wife, he attended Boise State. He was going for an architecture degree, and he decided kind of in the middle of his journey to take a different direction and get into the hospitality industry. And so they lived on the north end of Boise, and he would bike 14 miles for people who've lived in this area for a long time. There used to be a chain called On the Border. It was a Mexican restaurant over by the Overland Edwards. And so 14 miles, he'd go wash dishes, do food prep. Fast forward 20 years, he owns a Mono. It's a James Beard nominated restaurant. People come from all over. They're an anchor restaurant, what we consider an anchor destination. People come from all over to experience their cuisine. It's Oaxacan cuisine and family-run business. Family members of Sal and Becca work in the kitchens, have created the recipes with him. And that is one stop that we encourage people. We also encourage people to go to our other anchor destination restaurant, which is Indian Creek Steakhouse. If you're into Western cowboy feel, I often think it's akin to $1 Million Cowboy Bar if you've ever been to Jackson Hole. Just definitely a destination. They've got, an electronic bowl. You can do some bull riding in there, shoot pool. Feels like you're kind of stepping into the past. They've got a great menu as well. And then we've got Chop Shop Barbecue. Chris is a fantastic decorated chef in his own right. Fantastic food over at Chop Shop, one of my favorite actual restaurants here because I love barbecue. And Grit to See is another great place when we've got influencers who come in, visit Boise. Often we'll host editors from lifestyle and travel magazines. They'll call Destination Caldwell, hey, can we send them out to you and can you create an itinerary for them for the afternoon? And so Grit to See is another one. Cafe Anejo is another one. I saw Twisted Fig, our sandwich shop here, was locally just featured in Only in Your State. It's an online publication featuring unique destinations in different cities across America. So there's just a variety of food. You can find something for everyone in your family. My family are a family of 5, so it's on a budget. So we often hit up Extreme Pizza for $4 slice of pizza, and it's portable, and he's got a great paging system. So, and then there's just lots of artisan boutiques. If you're into coffee, we've got Flying M and Bond and Bevel. Great artisan coffee with both of those local merchants, wonderful people, and there's something for everyone. You can also do some retail shopping in those stores, and we've got plenty of retail opportunities in Oaks Brothers, Creekside, Malo, so many things for families to do.
Sweet, thanks. You listed a bunch of them. You got a bunch of them there. That was great.
I'm sure I forgot someone, and I'll hear about it. But I tried.
Oh man, I think one that comes to mind too is a lot of younger people are always kind of like, we want more stuff to do, but we have virtual arcade.
That's right. Yeah. Wonderful.
So they have like VR, and they also have what do you call it? Laser tag, right?
Yes.
So they're a great couple. But anyways, tell us, is there anything else that you wanted to hit on, or else that's coming up for Destination Caldwell?
Sure. Yeah, we just encourage all of our guests to go to our website, and you can go to destinationcaldwell.com or indiancreekplaza.com, and we list all of our signature events on there. We do 14 events a year. 3 of them are ticketed, so out of those 14, you only have to pay to come to 3 of them. Otherwise, everything is basically free down here. Of course, ice skating, you do have to pay for that as well, but there's always something going on here. We're having a Squatch Con in August, and that is just kind of a unique event. If you're into that sort of thing, they're going to do a Squatch calling contest and have some folks who have like Finding Bigfoot, some celebrities that have been on some cable shows about kind of outdoor conspiracy theories. So whether you're a skeptic or a believer, you might find that event fun.
Sure.
Yes, and then for Destination Caldwell, we've got the Caldwell Night Rodeo, which we do some things here on the plaza for that. And of course, if you've never been to the Caldwell Night Rodeo, we encourage you to go. It's a fantastic event, one of the premier rodeos actually in the Northwest, right here in town. And that's coming up August 12th. We've got our Hops and Crops Festival September 9th. You can learn about more of our agritourism and just our history of the region, meet ranchers, farmers, growers. There'll be some demos here with sugar beets and some other seed crops that Caldwell is known for. And then we've got our Indian Creek Festival, which is probably one of our largest events, second to Winter Wonderland. That's 2 days, and we're gonna have a cardboard kayak race. So if you've got a business or you're interested in participating in that, you can register online, and Caldwell Fine Arts picks the theme. It's called Better Together. So do with that what you will. I think there's some creative levity there. And then we've got a tug of war plan, and I believe the mayor is getting a team together for these events too, so we can kind of do some friendly competition.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll have to get that on your calendar, Brian. So
okay.
I'd love to see you come out for a tug of war. Yeah, and that's Indian Creek Festival, September 15th and 16th. Lots of vendors. And then, of course, you can hit up our local retail sector and restaurants that weekend as well. So those are kind of the two big things. And then one of the only times you can bring a pet on the plaza is Dogtoberfest, and that's October 7th. And so we only allow service animals on the plaza at this point. But if you want to come show off your dog for Dogtoberfest, October 7th, you have a golden doodle or a labradoodle?
I have both, actually.
Bring them down. Yeah, so those are just some fun events coming up for us. We really try to focus on high impact projects and helping to shape downtown and being a good partner and attracting new businesses. And so those kind of are our high priority pillars here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have the farmers market too. So,
we do. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, we're right in the middle of that season. So every Tuesday night, that runs May through October. We've got Farm to Fork Farmers Markets at 5 o'clock. We also have live music on the plaza, and you can go check our band list on IndianCreekPlaza.com, and there's lots of different bands. We have everything from reggae to Americana, country, a little bit of rock, and some pop. So check us out.
Cool. Well, Denae, thanks for giving us that big rundown and telling us who you are and what Destination Caldwell is. So thanks so much, and we'll see you on Winter Wonderland and for the festival.
Absolutely. We'll see you at Tug of War.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. My pleasure.